Hello Discovery Rich Stars, welcome to our first week of using Google Classroom for online learning. What we're going to be doing this week is I want to do one art lesson that everybody in every class can do because I have seen this going around on social media, and I also think it's just a really nice way to spread art and spread kindness to our neighbors. So what we're going to do is what I'm calling Art from the Heart. And so what we're going to do is we're going to make some really pretty colorful hearts with kind of a tie-dye technique. And then my plan is that we're going to take these hearts and we're going to hang them in windows so that neighbors that are walking by or driving by or just anybody outside of our house can see the hearts in our windows. So here's a picture of the hearts in my window. I have very few windows in my house, and so I put these on a glass door. They actually work best if you can find a window that either doesn't have a screen or if you can find one that is very close to the screen. So that's what mine looks like. So we're going to talk about how we're going to make hearts that look kind of tie-dye and kind of cool like this, okay? So we're going to need 5 things today. The first thing you'll need is paper. So I did use 2 different kinds of paper on mine, and I don't think it made a big difference. You can use just regular computer paper like this, and it works just fine. The next thing you're going to need is markers, not any kind of Sharpie marker, but just a regular type of washable marker, any kind of regular marker like this that is not a permanent marker. No permanent markers, those won't work for this. You need tin foil. This is probably something you're gonna find in your kitchen. Tin foil like this. You will need some sort of water spritzer. So this is the one that I have, but any spray bottle that lets out a really fine mist. Okay, maybe you'll find that in your bathroom, maybe your kitchen. And then you need scissors. So those are the 5 things that we need. So let's get started. So here is my white piece of paper that I'm going to use to make my heart. So the first thing I need to do is take my paper and fold it in half. I'm going to fold it like that and crease it. And then we need to know which side is the folded side and which side is the open side. So this is something that my first graders do a lot in their art classes. So this right here is the folded side. If you're not sure which one, run your finger on it, and you should not get a paper cut on the folded side. You will get 2 paper cuts if you run your finger down the open side. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take one of my markers. I'm going to take a black marker, and I'm going to draw half a heart on the folded end. So what I need to start to make a half a heart, if you're in one of the older grades and you already know how to do this, you can just go right ahead and do it. But on the folded side, I'm going to do a big frown. Make sure it touches the folded side, but it does not touch the open side. So once I have a big frown, then I'm going to connect this to this. So I'm going to go like this. Just connect it down like that. So once I have my frown and my connecting line, now I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut. Keep your paper closed. I'm going to cut, cut, cut all the way up and around my heart. You can try this more than once if your heart doesn't turn out very pretty. Let's check it out. There's my heart. Alright, so I actually cut my heart just a little bit smaller so that it would fit nicer in my frame here. So here is my heart. So I'm actually going to take this and put it off to the side for now. And I'm going to take my aluminum foil and I'm going to tear a piece that is bigger than my heart that I just made. So I'm going to pull it out. A piece, and then I'm going to check by putting my heart on it and make sure that it's bigger than my heart. So there it is. Put the heart off to the side, and now I'm going to take my markers and I'm going to just do kind of like a tie-dye look on the foil. So this is my marker, this is my foil, and what you'll notice right away is that the marker does not want to stick to the foil. It's not meant to stick to foil. Foil is meant to be something you use that doesn't stay wet, that you can easily wipe it off. So it's not going to want this marker to stay on it. So I'm going to give it kind of a scribbly look like this at the top. And watch what happens if I run my finger through it. I already got a little marker on my finger, but watch what happens. It takes it right off. Did you see that on my finger? So just make sure that when you're coloring this, try not to touch it at all. Alright, so there's my red stripe. Now I'm going to do rainbow order because I just think it looks the prettiest. All right, so once you have all your colors laid out, just make sure that you're checking it with your heart and making sure that it's going to fit. Don't let your heart touch it, but this should be just big enough. So this is when I take my spray bottle and I'm going to mist this about 5 or 6 times. And you should be able to see those colors already start to move. You don't want to do too much or else you're going to start washing the foil. So once I've sprayed it about 5 times or so, then you take your heart and you're going to lay it on your marker colors. Be very careful when you set it down. And then you need to take your fingers and just rub, rub, rub. So I'm going to, oh, look at that. I didn't get very much of my red on there, but that's okay. So you can start to see the colors coming through, especially if you're using computer paper. It's a very thin paper, so you may end up coloring front and back. That's totally fine. Rub, rub, rub. Oops. Rub, rub, rub. It's starting to get really soggy. All right, and then I'm going to carefully peel it up. And that's what it looks like. So with the computer paper, sometimes when it's wet, it's actually a little darker and it will be much brighter once it dries all the way. So this is what it looks like right now while it's still wet. It's actually going to be a little bit brighter once it dries. So if you want to do another print from the same piece of foil, you just take a paper towel and you just wipe your foil clean. Try not to tear it. That way you can just keep using the same piece over and over and over. So there it is. Clean piece of foil. Ready for the next one. One thing I will mention is that if these hearts do get wet, sometimes the marker can come out of them and it will get on whatever it's touching. So if you're worried about staining your door or your windows or anything else like that, what you could do is drop these in a Ziploc bag and then hang the Ziploc bag up against the window. So that should work just fine. All right, so there is my art from the heart. So feel free to try this over and over again. You can make as many of these as you want. It doesn't take very much supplies. And it's gonna take a few practice tries before you can get it exactly right with how much water you need and how to color it. So just remember that even if it doesn't turn out exactly how you thought it might, it's probably still very pretty. So what I would like for you guys to do is to send me pictures of these if you happen to make them and get them in your windows. I'm going to put this up on Google Classroom as an ungraded assignment, and it is completely optional, but by putting it as an assignment, it gives you guys a way to send me your pictures. All right, so let's have fun, let's make some art, and let's bring joy to our neighbors. Bye guys.